Hey guys and girls, it's Nathan Birch here. I was talking to someone recently and they said, Nathan, I want to be rich. How can I be rich? Thought about how could I answer this, because it's a pretty broad range, open topic and thought to be had. My first thought was rich and how? We're spiritual beings, right? We're meant to be connected, and most people think of rich as having a few dollars in the bank account. People go down to the doctors and they say, oh, I've got a problem, I want to be fixed, right? Is the treatment that they're giving you at the doctor's surgery the treatment to be healthy, or is it a band-aid for the solution of the problem that you are possessing on the day? And that's a question you need to ask yourself. Do you want to be rich? How? Do you want to be rich in being the spiritual being that yourself, or do you want to be rich as the fact that the matrix gives you the red pill and the blue pill? A lot of people take the blue pill, the red pill to awaken yourself, to be connected to yourself and to be rich, or rich as in monetary value. Because at the end of the day, what is the money that you're going to have do, right? What is the reason? What is your why? Where are you connecting it? What are you going to do with that? What is the whole purpose of you being you is? You get one life, you get luckily 80 years if you're lucky. What are you going to fill your time with? Kids are really wonderful. I've got a dozen nieces and nephews, and when they're born, they're cool and they learn, they come out very creative and whatnot. But in life, we suppress children to fit into a system, and the system is, this is what you need to do, this is how you need to behave, this is where you need to go in life. This is a path that we've designed for you to go along. And the path and the system that we're in, it hasn't existed forever. It's only been something that we're creating, and we're creating new paths constantly, because the generation of my generation is different than a 2000 baby, and the generation that was, of my older brothers was very different to my generation, with opportunities and things that are in front of them. Kids used to play in trees and bikes and all that sort of stuff. Now kids play on PlayStations and are plugged into the matrix. As life, we're constantly being conditioned into getting a good job, getting a good grade at school, getting a house, getting a partner, having a family, and society shapes us to be the people of what we are. And I think the question of rich is deeper than having zeros and digits in their bank account, because as I've said beforehand, pulling out money out of my pocket and saying with a green note, I can't wipe my ass with that, but a piece of paper I can. And a lot of people value that money so great that it actually controls them and rules them and enslaves them into conforming into that system. From my side of things, I feel rich by the fact that I awoken myself earlier to identify what I wanted in my life, and worked out this is who I am, and this is who I want to be, and this is what I've got to do to get there. Looking at everything that I do from a business perspective and the content I put out there for you guys is to help you, get yourself into a better position in life. It's not necessarily let's get that property. The property is a pill. The property is a part of getting you to where you want to be. But I think the question is deeper down is to who do you want to be? How is your life going to be? People sit there and just get their shits with their life all so often, but they don't actually do something in order to change their life. Yeah, and I've been there lots of times in my life. I get unhappy with lots of things, even to this day. People go, oh Nathan, you're so chill, or you must be so happy, or whatever. And I carry shitloads of stress on a day-to-day basis, but I deal with it, I own it. As a person, you need to be honest to yourself, and you can't be honest to other people around you until you can really be honest to yourself and say, this is what I stand for, and this is what I'm doing, and being committed as yourself to get to your goal. For a lot of people that want to be rich, they just want some money. What's the money going to do? Okay, let's identify what you're looking for, what you're wanting to be, who you're wanting to be, and then working out what money you need to get there to be that person. So removing yourself, to be able to unplug yourself from the system. I always say, the day that I handed back the security tags to the job that I was working in when I quit my job at the age of 24, I'm thinking, what the fuck am I going to do on Monday morning? I'm meant to wear a tie and a suit and a tie clip and cufflinks and conform to the system, have a shave. I don't even care about shaving anymore, just for the fun of it. That was an emancipating feeling. I'd plugged myself out of the system, and I was like, what can I do in life? What do I want to do? What does tomorrow involve for me? And unfortunately, a lot of people will never find that. Being rich financially can allow you to do that. But then what? I think a lot of people look at just that quick little fix that's going to give them a high and going to get them into the next step. Looking at holistically the bigger picture. Who am I? What do I want to do? People have fantasy of an ideal world. If I won lotto, I would be doing this. If I had this, I would be doing that. Think about it. If you're thinking about it, more than 10, 15, 20 minutes, a half an hour every day, or most days of the week, or most of your time you're thinking about, this is where I want to be, well then, I don't mean to be, rude about it or that, but you're failing at taking action to be that person or the person of what you want to become, and being real to yourself. This is where I am. This is what I want to become. First step is to identify that. Then it's doing the action steps. That's where I can help you, is finding your properties and building your property portfolio and helping you unplug yourself from the system that we're created and designed into be. And then what do you want to do? Because without having that clear picture at the end, without knowing your why, your purpose, or what you want to be and what you're doing it for, it's going to be very, very hard for you to be rich. There's lots of figures that come into being rich. Myself personally, the first thing was I wanted to unplug myself from slavery of going to a job, and I'm not meaning that in a bad way, but doing things that you want to do because you can do it and you want to do it, not because you have to do it. Working out who you are, what you want, and what you need to do to get there is the first step of becoming rich. Once you identify that, then it's doing the steps in order to get there. And then once you're truly free from that, you can then go and multiply that, and you'll learn a lot of things along the way. When I first started on my journey, I was a sperm, and then I was a kid, and then I was a kid at school. I was a kid being brainwashed into the system. Then I joined the system, and I didn't like the system, and I tried to get myself out of the system, and I did whatever I could to get out of the system. And then we're all in a system, but where do you want to be, and what are the steps you're going to have to take through different phases of your life to get you to that happy place, to make you rich for who you really truly are. So I think that first of all, identifying that and laying yourself the foundations to be rich, and then there's multiple different vehicles to get the monetary side of things saved. It could be working up and saving money, investing that money into things, setting up a business, investing into different asset classes, investing into property. Property's been the number one hands down winner to get me out of the system and unplug myself to be able to live life on my terms, and be able to do what I want when I want and to make me happy. So if there's any way that we can help you out, call us at the office 1300 367 925, email us at admin@binvested.com.au. Remember to like, share and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll catch up soon. Have an awesome day.